to say you're like, okay, we are live. Okay, so it is Wednesday. It's the only reason I know what day of the week it is at this point now. I'm over here in Sonoma County. We are shut down again, so I'm home drinking wine, eating cheese. And the best news is I've got Point Reyes Farmstead Cheese Company with me with one of the owners of Bacon. So she's got lots of cheese. She's got lots of wine because I drove out there yesterday. But welcome to our Wine and Whatever Wednesday. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. This is great.
You are welcome.
To have wine with my cheese.
And I have cheese with my wine, so this is a win-win. Actually, I drove out to Point Reyes yesterday, which I believe my GPS told me was 27 miles. And an hour and a half later, I pulled up to the gates. So you guys are on the coast off Tamales Bay. It's absolutely gorgeous, a gorgeous drive out there. And I brought you guys some wine. So we are enjoying. Of course, you gave me cheese. It was like a win-win. I got a little 2017 Charles Vineyard. So we went to Anderson Valley for the wine. And then we also have our 2017 Russian River Blend as well. So, and then you have some cheese. What do you have in front of you?
I do. So I have just a few of our cheeses here in front of me. Our regular Toma, which is the one on the end here. It's a kind of a cross between a Havarti and a young Gouda. And then next to that is one of our flavored Toma cheeses with a Japanese spice called togarashi. And we call it Tomarashi, a little play on that, but it's got a nice little kick to it and some nice chili pepper flavors and umami flavors. And then next to that is one of our library cheeses. It's an aged Gouda, aged about 15 to 18 months. And yeah, great cheeses that go with the wine.
And I have two more because I couldn't, well, not two more cheeses, but I have a blue cheese date spread because you are very well known for your blue cheese as well. Right. Yeah. And then I also, you guys gave me some crackers. My lights are horrible. So a little tart cherry, cocoa nib, and almond artisan crisps to go along. So I styled myself out a little bit. But tell me a little bit about Point Reyes. Tell me a little bit about your family connection because this is your family.
Yes.
Right.
So it's actually, we're here on my parents' property that they purchased in 1959. So we just celebrated 60 years on the farm as a dairy farm. We have Holstein cows. And for the first 40 years, my dad milked the cows and sold all the milk to a processor. So think Clover products that you see on the shelf. That's where our milk went. Okay. Always had this dream, though, of creating some finished good product with the milk. And it took him a while to kind of figure that out and then bring his four daughters, I'm number two, into the mix, but kind of brought us together in the mid-90s to say, hey, I have this idea of making a cheese with our milk. But my parents were in their early 60s at that time. They wanted some buy-in and at least a couple of us to come into the business and help them start it and get it going. And it was great timing because the artisan cheese industry was really getting off the ground here. If you know Cowgirl Creamery, Peg Smith and Sue Connolly, who started that and were great mentors of ours that helped us get started in the cheese. And really at that time, we did a lot of research, but in 2000, actually August of 2000, we made our first batch of Point Reyes Original Blue.
And this was the daughters coming in and wanting to?
Yeah, well, it was a combination. It was my dad seeding the idea and then bringing it to us to really kind of take it from there and come up with what we wanted to make, what kind of cheese, how that was going to happen. And, you know, we had all grown up on the dairy, but didn't have an interest in being involved in the dairy end of the business, had left, all had different careers in business. And so when we came back, it just kind of they like to say by design, but, you know, one of my sisters was in marketing, one was in operations, my background's in finance. And so we kind of together, you know, were able to kind of create this business. And then we're very fortunate to find a great cheesemaker to help us develop the recipe and kind of perfect it over the years. So when we first started and we made Original Blue, we only made that one cheese for the first 9 years, and really launched it and worked on the brand and the consistency of the product, and really looked to get that cheese out nationwide, and kind of developed all of that. Year 9 was when we actually hired our second cheesemaker, and he kind of took us to the next level of developing the other cheeses that we now produce. So in August of this year, we'll be celebrating 20 years of making.
That's awesome.
Yes. So
we just celebrated 20 years of winemaking 1 or 2 years ago, I think. So we are right there with you.
Oh, good. Yeah, we had big plans to have a big 60-20, we were calling it, party in August. And then, we will still have a party, but it will just be after, hopefully, things get under control.
You have a lot of property. You could absolutely do social distancing out there, but it wouldn't be as much fun.
No, it
for a party. Not at all. Right, so, I'm going to ask a weird question that I just thought about. Is there a particular type of cow for a particular type of cheese, or do the majority of cows with their milk you can kind of make?
The blue cows make blue
I know the blue cows do not make blue cheese. I do know brown cows make chocolate milk, though. There
you go. Not necessarily. It's about the butter fat content of the milk that they produce, and then you can alter different recipes to get the different kinds of cheeses that you want. So certainly you can kind of experiment with it. And we see a lot of cheese out there that also is with goat's milk or sheep's milk, and sometimes some cheesemakers will do a mixed milk cheese where they've got different components in there. So we only have the Holstein cows on our property. We still milk today about 370 cows or so.
A lot of cows.
And all of the milk today, it took us probably, 12, 13 years, I can't remember exactly, from when we first started to when we were utilizing 100% of our milk in the cheeses that we produce.
So you were using 100% of the milk for the cheeses, nothing else?
No, then we did expand. So we expanded in a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. We actually purchased a property in Petaluma, and we converted it into another creamery, and we moved all of our packaging and distribution there. And because we were now making more cheese, we did start purchasing milk.
I was just going to ask that. Okay, fascinating. So you can also purchase milk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because Papa Patio Perry, we don't own any vineyards. Everything we produce, we purchase, we source the fruit. They call it here. They call it sourcing the milk. Yeah, sounds fancy.
Yeah.
Just curious. It sounds good to me. Yeah, we source all of our grapes. We've got some great similarities.
We do. Now, I will say, because of COVID, we are not purchasing other milk. We've kind of had to dial back some of our production because of the demand out there in the market. But one thing too, I will point out. So in our name, it's Reyes Farmstead Cheese Company. A lot of people ask us, what does Farmstead mean? Mm-hmm. And that does mean, and it was the original premise when we started the business, that we are sourcing our own milk. So we kind of own the process, if you will, or control the process from when the baby calf is first born through milking and then the cheese. So with the cheeses we make in our Petaluma plant, those are not considered Farmstead.
So Farmstead, and I apologize, I'm going to relate everything back to wine because that's my language. So it's kind of like estate cheese. Like estate. Oh, look at all these similarities. I'm loving it. Well, let's have a sip of wine because look, I've been drinking while you've been talking. So maybe I could talk about wine here. But I will go. So a couple of things with Point Reyes as well is you guys, you sell cheese nationally. So anybody out there very well may find these cheeses out in, I'm gonna guess more the creameries, your Whole Foods, your specialty stores versus, what was someone talking about, Piggly Wiggly the other day, or I I'm from the East Coast. Publix actually has a good cheese selection.
Yeah, we do have cheese at Publix and Wegmans and Kroger's and some other names that you've heard of other places. And we, before COVID, we were probably split about 50-50 retail and food service as far as where our cheese was going. It's kind of obviously dialed back on the food service side, and there's been some, makeup of that on the retail side. And then we do sell our cheese direct to consumers on our website. We ship anywhere in the U.S. Right now we're shipping overnight, so you can find the different cheeses, and we do some composed gift boxes in there as well that have like the crackers and the dip and the things that you.
And it's all delicious. And I will say on that note too, we are in talks. We are going to figure out a virtual wine and cheese tasting where I will do the hard work of tasting the wines and the cheeses and finding these pairings. So if anybody out there has been to our Pinot on the Patios, our idea is going to bring the Pinot on the Patio to you, where you will purchase a kit. We will ship you the wines. When Reyes Farmstead will ship you the cheeses. We will all meet together on Zoom one day, and we'll have a party for you.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That's in here. Well, let's try some of these cheeses. I've already cheated a little.
Sure.
And one of my questions with cheeses too are if you can eat the rind or not. I know it's always a confusing piece. So I'm going to
let me tell you about that. You can absolutely. The rind on our cheese is a natural rind, so it's edible. I wouldn't say that with all cheeses. There are some that are a little waxier, and you probably want to take that off. Now, it's a personal preference. I tend to cut off the rind, but it's perfectly fine to eat. I would, tell someone, hey, taste it, see if you like it, great. But if not, don't worry. We generally tell people to cut off the rind and then just do a little scrape on the cheese, because you've got it's been sitting in this packaging for a while. Yes. So you kind of just want to, it's not a lot that you're scraping off, but just you'll sometimes kind of see a little bit. It'll have maybe a little sheen on it. Mm-hmm. So you'll just want to scrape that off.
Okay.
So
what is the rind made of? I'm looking at the toma.
It's not really made of anything, but we wax the cheese in the aging process.
Okay.
So it's just a natural clear waxing that's helping the cheese in its aging to kind of, keep the aging within the cheese and not, kind of grow mold on the outside, if you will. But what I wanted to say too, I think is one of the most important things when you're tasting cheese is make sure to take out the cheese at least 20 to 30 minutes out of the fridge and let it get to room temperature. Most people don't realize that. They take cheese right out of the fridge, open it, start eating it. You can do that for sure. But in terms of really getting the flavors where you want and really at the ideal stage is to take it out. I usually say 30 minutes plus, because you're going to notice it becomes but more, especially on the toma, it's a nice buttery cheese, and you can really taste the creaminess of it, but you're going to taste that more as it's sat out at room temperature.
Okay.
So
again, a little similar to wine, because wine, I like my reds with a slight chill, and I like to enjoy them. And as they warm up, you get more of those flavors. Chardonnay, Americans serve Chardonnay way too cold, so as it warms up in the glass, you get more flavors. So,
same thing.
Fun. I'm loving these similarities.
Yeah,
and the toma is delicious, and you make 3 tomas. 3?
Well, we have one that's just the regular, and then we have 3 flavors.
4.
So in addition to the tomarashi, we've got Toma Provence, which is with herbs de Provence, and is great to add to things because you've already got the herbs in there. So like think eggs or a quesadilla, or just to shave it over vegetables, and then it's again got those herbs in there already. And then the third one that we make is a Toma truffle, which has that woodsy truffle flavor, and that's a great thing to mix into a bowl of risotto, or, think, mushrooms where you add that, and it just gives it that nice earthy, full flavor. So those are the 3 flavors. We came out with those about a year ago.
Okay. And truffle is amazing with Pinot Noir. Truffle is amazing with anything, in my opinion. I always say I put it on my boots and I would eat my boots. Because I think truffle is absolutely delicious. Well, I will say a little classic wine in Toma means made by the farmer herself.
Yes.
I was just told.
Yeah. Yes. It's an Italian word, and we are, part Italian. And so we kind of, drew on our heritage for the making of that cheese. And like I said, it's a great melting cheese as well. So it's very versatile. It's good for snacking and, any kind of cooking application you can think of. So mac and cheese, roast cheese, all those kinds of things.
No, it's delicious. I'm gonna try the togarashi in a minute. If anybody's ever been to our wine club party, we've done popcorn before with the spice, the togarashi spice on there, and it is delicious. A little quick thing with wine and cheese, if anybody in front of you is doing wine and cheese, and we purposely picked some cheeses. First of all, I wanted to eat every single cheese. So I purposely picked cheeses today that I could eat. And then when we do a virtual tasting, we'll pick different cheeses so I can eat those too. Because that's how I roll. Bob's asking, do you ship or only sell locally? Bob, if you were tuning in earlier, and I can say it like that because he is my uncle. Bob, if you were tuning in earlier, she does ship. They do ship overnight because I know for a fact he's in Alabama, and I am pretty dang positive it's hot where he is. No, yeah, all your cheeses are available for sale online to ship.
Yes, we have them in standalone packs. So if you're just like, I just want that togarashi, and you can get that by itself, or you can get different combinations of the cheeses. And right now we are shipping everything overnight. Again, going to a lot of hot places. So it's got the right amount of ice in there and should be perfectly fine when you get it the next day for snacking on.
I will tell you, I picked up so I drove out to Point Reyes, like I said yesterday, and I picked up the cheese, and it was probably coastal. It was probably like 60s, 70s, but you come inland where I am. It's been in the hundreds lately, and you guys were great. It was in a box. It had the padding. It had she put an ice pack on it. She goes, how long are you going to be in the car? And I said, well, I run hot. My AC is blaring. Nope. Still put an ice pack, and the cheese is delicious. So it's working fantastic. So a little quick thing with the cheese, because we wanted to bring it back to the wine as well, because I keep drinking all mine. I always say when you're doing a wine and cheese pairing, the best thing to do is take a sip of the wine, enjoy the wine and enjoy those flavors, and then take a bite of the selected cheese you want. Because as you chew the cheese, I'm not going to chew it on camera, but as you chew the cheese, it releases certain chemicals and such that then influence that second sip. And the idea is that the cheese isn't going to overwhelm it too much. The wine's going to show through with some different flavors. And the cheese, because of the cream in the cheese, you can correct me anytime if I'm wrong, think of adding cream to your coffee. It kind of cuts down some of those acids in the wine, and it should be just this beautiful, magical pairing. The wine sings after, and it makes you automatically go, I need to do that again.
Right.
Well,
it's funny to say, I'm sure this is probably similar with most wineries, where it's like, taste the wine first and then taste the cheese. And so we kind of do the opposite. We're like, taste the cheese so you can know what the cheese tastes like, then taste the wine. But the key is to taste again. You go back and forth a little bit, till you've had all your wine and your cheese. But it really lets you get that or decide on the flavors, because if we find too, I'm sure you do as well, that everybody's palate's different. And so sometimes you may think, oh my God, this is the greatest pairing ever. And someone else, because of, what they've got going on, may think, oh, that's not so great. So it's about finding what works best for you. And there's always, certainly good pairings out there with different cheeses. But we focus on the wine, you guys focus on the cheese, and a great pairing works either way. And there are some bad pairings out there, so don't feel like you're losing your mind if you don't like the pairing. But when you do find, the problem is when you find the good pairing, you will eat the entire wheel of cheese and drink the entire bottle. Why? That's a good pairing. You just do it all over again. It's fantastic.
Why not? Okay, I'm going to pour myself now a little the Russian River. I like to go back and forth. The Charles paired amazing with the Toma. I don't want to call it the plain Toma because it's not the plain Toma. It's very it's got a little nuttiness to it. It's got a subtleness to it. I love the consistency. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, we like to say that the Toma actually really lets you taste the flavors of the milk. So a lot of what we talk about, and this is a similar term in wine, is the terroir, and what's affecting because it affects the ocean breezes out here, affects the grasses that the cows eat, and then it comes through in the flavor of the milk and then in the cheese. And Toma is probably one of the best representations of what that milk really is tasting like, because it is such a clean cheese. But it's got great work, like you're saying, as far as the nuttiness, and it's just really buttery and and creamy, and that's just kind of it's one of those cheeses that you can't quite get enough of.
No, it's not. You do want to. That's why I'm like, you want to keep eating it.
Yeah, it tastes like, what is this? And then you're like, wait, I need to taste some more, because with every bite you kind of get a little bit more of that flavor profile.
You do, and it's funny. We are very spoiled out here in Sonoma County. We've got great wines. There are great creameries. I know when I was at your place the other day, there's a cheese trail. You can go around and cheese taste just like you. Dan poured me this wine. This is a lot of wine. You can go around and cheese taste. It's awesome, and you are in such a beautiful area. Oh my gosh! And you have a visitor center, and everything's different with COVID right now. But anybody who's going to come out at some point, I highly encourage you to go visit some of the creameries as well. You guys are fantastic. If you like blue cheese, I know. You started with blue cheese? You said.
Yes. For the first 9 years, we only made one blue cheese. Now we do have 2 blue cheeses now. So our core line is the 2 blues, which are very different from each other, the aged Gouda, and then the Toma line.
You also do culinary courses.
We do, yeah. So we have a culinary education center here called the Fork at Point Reyes, which is unfortunately not open right now, but under normal circumstances, we do monthly farm dinners, we do cooking classes. During the summer, we're normally doing Friday farm tours, where people can walk around and really get a full tour of the dairy and see a lot of sustainable practices that we do here on the farm, and then see how the cheese is made, taste the cheese, and see some baby cows, which is always a fun thing. Everybody loves to
love the baby cows. I will tell you, driving up though yesterday, the road is this big. The cows are all hanging off to the side.
Oh yeah,
terrifying me a little because, but they stop what they're doing and watch you.
Yes,
they're big. I started driving the speed limit once they started watching me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but it's so beautiful, and they're actually really cute. So Lori's asking, I'm going to pop this on. Can you buy the cheese at any stores? Lori, I'm trying to remember where you are, but I don't know. Yes.
Yeah. So depending on where you are, it's more available at retail stores here in California, Northern California specifically, but we are available in a lot of places across the country. There are certain grocery chains that carry our cheese, so Whole Foods. Most cheese grocery stores that have a cheese counter and that have like a cheesemonger, they're generally going to have not all of our cheeses, but certainly some of our cheeses. We're the only cheese company that has Point Reyes in the name. Okay. So you ask, do you have any of those Point Reyes cheeses? Specialty cheese shops too are more likely to carry our cheeses as well. But we do have representation, like I said, across of the country. So a lot of the bigger grocery stores will also carry our cheese. And, before COVID, we were in a lot of restaurants and food service.
Oh.
So that's changed. But
Lori's in Santa Rosa.
Oh, Santa Rosa,
you're good.
Tell her like Oliver's or Whole Foods.
We got you covered, Lori. This is easy.
Yeah, that's really easy. She can come visit. Well, again after COVID, come visit us.
Yeah, go visit. Well, and also when I was perusing your website as well, and you have some, variety packs. You've got some kits set up as well that I'm a big believer in sampling. I mean, how else do you know if you like it or you don't? And give it a try. And you also do a Gouda, which, I stupidly go, everyone's got Gouda, not your Gouda. I know, I'm sorry. You changed me. Your Gouda is delicious.
Well, and I will tell you that our Gouda has the last 2 years, they didn't hold the contest this year, but has won Best in Show for the state of California at the state fair. So 2 years in a row it won. So it's got, some good recognition, and it's just, you can see it in, hopefully, I don't know if all the people on Facebook Live can see it, but there is just a deeper golden color you've got these little like crystal.
I'm going to tell you what I do with my
crystallization coming, and it's just, you get this like butterscotch caramel flavor going on there. And think of it, again, it's a library cheese. So we're like, hey, even pairing it with like a scotch or whiskey, it's just like you really get the blending of the buttermilk scotch in there. I know that's not a wine, but if you want to mix it up a little,
you can drink that after the wine.
Yeah.
So is that a cheese knife in your hand?
Oh, it is. Yes, and that comes in our gift packs too.
Oh, I didn't get one of those.
Oh,
it's okay. I'll bring you more wine. So this is what I do, which is funny. This is a spoon because I'm classy like that, but I like to scrape the cheese. Mm-hmm. So if you just, I don't know if you guys can really tell, but see, I'm scraping it, and the crystals come out. The cheese tastes so different when you have these scrapes. And then you get those little crystals.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. The crystals. I love the crystals.
Yeah. Makes the cheese, and you get that nutty caramel thing going on in there. It's just,
that is really good.
Really special.
But Jeff's saying we buy your cheese at Bristol Farms in Palm Desert. Yes, Bristol Farms is actually a pretty little location. I need some of that good. Your good is fantastic. That was just absolutely delicious. I love the crystals. Let me get your blue cheese dates for. Oh, Dan's is giving me more scrapes over here.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna try this really quick I haven't even tasted. Look, I've been eating so much cheese, I quit drinking my wine.
You need to taste
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You okay?
I gotta drink my 17 Russian. Oh my God, that's delicious too. I'm gonna try it with the Gouda. I told you this half hour was gonna fly by.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're almost done.
I know. What happens when you get a little cheese and wine in front of people? It's
just like a virtual party.
It is a virtual. That's all we can do right now, right? Well, and the best thing, like I always say, nobody has to drive.
That's right.
You can just sit at home and do this. Well, I'd have a sip of wine. Oh, that's a delicious one. Well, thank you for joining us. This was easy and great. Again, stay tuned. So to be clear, we'll pop your website up as well, but you can purchase the cheese directly from you on the website. You can look for it at your local stores. I'm a big believer in as well. If you can't find it, ask for it. You ask for it enough, they'll order it for you. They want to make you happy, and it'll help you guys out a little bit too by getting great cheeses to you locally, which is awesome. But we are going to do a virtual kit at some point. I think we're looking possibly early October-ish, but we'll get the details out. And the idea will be we're going to pair 3 of our wines with 3 of your cheeses. We will send you the cheese. We will send you the wine. We will all meet on a Zoom, so a little bit more interactive. We'll all meet on a Zoom, and we'll just do this party together, which will be fantastic.
Great. Looking forward to it.
I know, right? This is fun. Thank you for joining us. And I will say too, if everybody's hanging around in half an hour, Ben is going to be on Instagram Live. That's why Ben couldn't join us. I think he's getting out of the pool and doing his hair and his makeup and stuff to be on Instagram Live with Emily Martin, who's a fashionista. Oh, you can even order it on Amazon. Someone said, well, you guys are on Amazon too? Oh.
From us direct. I think someone who maybe buys it from us puts it on there. So
don't do that.
I mean, not that it's not our product, but it's kind of coming through a middleman, I think. So.
Yeah, and right now you probably don't want to go through the middleman. No, and you guys are doing great. You're offering great overnight shipping. Go straight from the cow to your house. I mean, come on.
And we actually do have a promo right now running on our composed gift cheeses, and some of them come with, like you said, crackers, and we have some salami and some different honey for different accompaniments to the cheese.
Oh,
and their wine. And we can get their wine from you.
You can get our wine from us. And the cool thing, I think, when you order, direct is better, Wendy. I agree. When you order it from the small business, you're also helping a small business. Number one. But two, you guys put together, when you throw the honeys in, you throw some of these other things in, it may not be things you think of. I'm the worst at thinking of what pairs well. But when I get stuff in a kit, I play around with it, because what else would you do? And you learn new things, and it's great. Your cheeses are fantastic. This has been great. I love the Gouda is great. The Togashi, the blues. I'm even not a huge blue cheese fan, but I really like your blue cheeses. They're not smacking you in the face, and they're just not. I sound bad. They don't taste cheap. They taste quality. They really are good. They you guys do a great job. So thank you for joining us. This has been
this was fun.
Oh, I didn't even get to the Sophies. Hold on, I got to bring up the Sophie Awards really quick. You won Sophie Awards. Tell us what the Sophie Awards are.
It's the Specialty Food Association that has normally two semi-annual conferences and trade shows. One in San Francisco in January, and then one in New York in June, but not this year. And so the Sophie Awards are their kind of the Oscars of the food world, and we've received a few of those. And yes, Toma actually had gotten an award for the best cheese a few years back. So that was real exciting for us.
Thank you. So much so, you guys were featured on the Today Show.
We were, yes, you can find that on our website. Jane Pauley interviewed us and just happened to be following us around when we won the Sophie Award. So it all worked out.
Oh, funny. And it's actually a really cool video, because it shows your dad, it shows your mom, it shows the four of you girls. It talks about how you were paid in cheese in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Your dad slowly wrangled you back, and well done, Dad. He's got you all the girls back home working at the farm. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Yep. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see people on Instagram at 5 with Ben, and tomorrow night's our Riedel seminar if you guys signed up. If not, we've got a new date coming, and otherwise we'll catch you guys next Wednesday. And thank you, Diana, so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
We appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay.
Cheers.